China, the largest power in Asia, is located in East Asia and stands as the fourth largest country in the world by land area. Stretching across vast terrain, it also holds the record for having the world's longest land borders, touching 14 neighboring countries. Beyond its main territory, China governs two special administrative regions, Hong Kong and Macau. Each has its own legal system, currency, and passports, operating under the distinctive principle of one country, two systems. A political arrangement that exists nowhere else on Earth. China's geography is breathtakingly diverse, ranging from the high-altitude Tibetan Plateau and the arid expanses of the Gobi Desert to the fertile plains of northern China and the subtropical coastline in the southeast. Flowing through this vast landscape is the Yangtze River, the longest river in Asia, which nourishes countless communities and ecosystems along its banks. The country is also home to stunning natural wonders. Sprawling karst mountains recognized by UNESCO, mysterious limestone caves, and vast freshwater lakes. With such richness, China is often described as a miniature Earth, a country that gathers nearly every type of natural scenery imaginable. This extraordinary variety of landscapes has created highly unique ecosystems. China ranks among the top 3 nations in the world in terms of biodiversity, just behind Brazil and Colombia. It shelters over 34,000 species of plants and more than 7,500 species of animals, including almost 1,000 species that cannot be found anywhere else. The country's most famous animal symbols include the giant panda, the elusive South China tiger, and the rare Sichuan golden monkey. One fascinating detail about life in China is the extreme climate differences. Some regions experience a temperature swing of more than 50 degrees Celsius between summer and winter. Turpan in the northwest can scorch at over 45 degrees Celsius, while northern areas near Mongolia can plummet below -40 degrees Celsius. Despite these contrasts, one common cultural habit unites the people: the preference for drinking warm water year-round. Many Chinese believe that cold water harms the body, so even in the peak of summer, warm tea or boiled water is the norm. Although China lost its position as the most populous country to India in 2023, it remains home to over 1.4 billion people, nearly 1/5 of humanity. The Han Chinese form the overwhelming majority at 92%, but the nation is also home to 55 officially recognized ethnic minority groups. Each minority preserves unique traditions, some of which may appear surprising to outsiders. The Julong women, for instance, once tattooed their faces as protection against kidnappers. The Dai people celebrate the new year by splashing water on one another, symbolizing blessings and renewal. In Tibet, families have a rooftop friend-making ceremony to welcome new bonds and strengthen social ties. Language further reflects China's complexity. Mandarin Chinese is the official language, spoken by more than 1 billion people, making it the most widely spoken language in the world. Yet few know that China is also home to over 130 other languages and countless dialects. In fact, in some regions, communities separated by only a river may not understand one another without a common lingua franca. This is why television programs and movies in China almost always display Chinese subtitles, ensuring mutual understanding across dialects. China is also the only country in the modern world that still uses Chinese characters as its main writing system. These characters, sometimes containing dozens of intricate strokes, make Chinese one of the most difficult languages to master. Even native speakers occasionally struggle to remember rare characters. Number 14. Ancient Chinese inventions. One surprising fact about China's history is that it even gave the world toilet paper. While Europeans were still using dry grass, shells, or scraps of cloth, ancient China had already introduced this simple but life-changing invention as early as the 6th century. By the Yuan dynasty in the 14th century, toilet paper was being mass-produced for the imperial palace. But China's legacy of invention goes far beyond that. Its contributions include 4 inventions that historians often describe as having changed the course of human civilization: the compass, gunpowder, paper, and printing technology. Gunpowder, for instance, was discovered in the 9th century by Taoist alchemists seeking the elixir of immortality. By mixing charcoal, sulfur, and saltpeter, they accidentally created a substance that could explode. Initially used for fireworks during rituals and festivals, gunpowder eventually found military applications, though at first on a limited scale within China. Only after the formula spread westward did it revolutionize warfare in the Islamic world and Europe, reshaping geopolitics forever. The compass was another invention that began with mystical uses. Early Chinese fortune tellers used lodestone spoons on bronze plates to determine orientation. By the 11th century, during the Northern Song dynasty, this was refined into a freely rotating magnetic needle, which sailors soon used for navigation. With the compass, China expanded maritime trade routes across Southeast Asia, the Indian Ocean, and as far as East Africa. Once introduced to Europe, the compass became an essential tool for exploration and colonial expansion. Paper, meanwhile, changed human communication forever. Before its invention, the Chinese wrote on bamboo slips, silk, or wooden tablets, materials that were expensive, heavy, and inconvenient. In 105 AD, Kai Luan, a eunuch in the Han dynasty, created the first paper from tree bark, fishing nets, and old rags. Lightweight, affordable, and easy to produce, paper rapidly spread throughout administration, scholarship, and everyday life. Centuries later, China added another breakthrough: printing technology. Woodblock printing allowed for the mass reproduction of texts, while in the 11th century, movable type printing emerged, centuries before Gutenberg introduced it in Europe. This innovation enabled thousands of books to be printed for civil service exams, education, and the circulation of new ideas, fueling intellectual development long before the European Renaissance. These achievements highlight how ancient China shaped the world in ways that still influence us today. Number 13. Chinese women, beauty, grace, and modern strength. Chinese women have long been admired for their beauty, confidence, and elegance. Traditionally seen as the epitome of Eastern grace, they are often described as having fair skin, delicate features, bright eyes, and an aura of gentleness combined with intelligence. A region that stands out in this regard is Xinjiang, often referred to as the cradle of beauties. Women from Xinjiang often display a striking blend of Eastern and Western traits: rosy complexions, deep-set eyes, high noses, and angular features. This unique mix makes their beauty particularly captivating and unforgettable, adding to the diverse beauty map of China. Beyond appearances, the personality of Chinese women reflects both tradition and modernity. Traditionally, women were seen as gentle, family-oriented, and caring. But in modern urban centers like Beijing and Shanghai, a new generation of women has emerged, strong, independent, and ambitious. They actively express their opinions, pursue careers, and challenge societal norms while still balancing grace with decisiveness. In matters of love and dating, cultural traits remain important. Many Chinese women still value politeness, thoughtfulness, and respect. On a first date, they often expect men to pay the bill, though many will lightly suggest splitting costs to show independence. Gifts that matter most are often thoughtful rather than expensive: a meaningful book, a handmade item, or a personal keepsake. As lifestyles evolve, online dating has become increasingly popular. Apps like Tantan, Momo, and Baiha attract millions of young women between the ages of 20 and 35. Yet, even in the digital age, Chinese women approach dating with caution, often prioritizing education, sincerity, and respect. Rushed or careless behavior is usually frowned upon. This balance, between traditional gentleness and modern independence, makes Chinese women both approachable and mysterious. They embody a blend of cultural pride and adaptability that continues to fascinate people both inside and outside China. Final thought: from its vast landscapes and biodiversity to its groundbreaking inventions and evolving culture, China is a country of paradoxes and wonders. It is ancient yet modern, traditional yet forward-looking, unified yet deeply diverse. Whether through the panda's charm, the genius of its ancient inventions, or the quiet strength of its women, China continues to capture the world's imagination.